it might be very tempting and alluring. Try to go and start collecting and buying all the shamanic memorabilia, tools, decor, clothing. Don't do that. It's not going to be helpful. If you want to purchase something, make sure that you have a practical use for it. And for clothing, it's better not at all to give in into it. Then you just joining a huge army of people who make a theater out of shamanism. And it's very sad to watch. When there is no substance, people try to substitute it with costumes and decor. And then you attract like people. Then you're going to be attracting flakes, people who don't understand where they are, what they want, and what they do, and people who are brainwashed. You cannot build a business on it. So from very beginning, make it clear for yourself, what are you doing? If that's just a lifestyle you're attracted to, fine. But if you need to build a business out of it and attract right clients, be strategic, be smart. Don't dress up like a clown. Don't stick feathers into your hair. I'm serious. I'll tell you, the healing circles that I do locally, we do fire, we do drums, I play vargan, we do traditional rituals. But to be honest, with all my experience, to be honest, these rituals is more to honor our ancestors than to give benefit to people who are doing this. This is just a token of love for ancestors. Yes, we still remember you. We still know your ways. But when it comes to work, to actual healing, there is much more benefit of doing the sessions the way we've been doing here. And also, history cycles over and over and over. If you're going to invest too much money, effort, and time in portraying this traditional shaman with feathers and drums and costumes and build all your presence on it, it might very much happen that soon witch hunting will start again. It happened before. It happened more than once. And then what you're going to do? Shaman is a reflection of what is happening and what is needed in real time in real community. You're going to dress up like a clown. Don't get surprised that you're surrounded by circus. People that do actual healing, they wear lab coats because they work in hospitals. They wear uniforms because they work where they're needed. Army, legal forces, they dress up in suits because then they're taken seriously. Before getting swayed away in all the sparkles, unicorns, and feathers, sit down and think, what's your plan? Also would like you to, from very beginning, discern religion and spirituality. Those are not the same things. And the shamanism too, it's so broad. It has so many different phases. I mean, it's practiced through entire history all over the world. And in some places, it is a religion. In Native American culture, it is a religion. And from what I've been observing, the actual healing aspect is barely alive. It's very sad to watch. When you don't have practical application, when you don't use it with real benefit in real life, when you don't expand that, when you don't grow it, it dies. And we observe that. That culture is dying. I would like you to discern when you're watching somebody, when you're reading books or you're taking other classes, from beginning filter, is it religion being preached to you? Brush it off because it's not going to serve you. Or this is actual practical skill set. Religion is worshipping rigidly, religiously, through repetition, same thing without really understanding why, what for. Remember, Maruta, you said they insist on tending to altars for hours every day. What for? Wouldn't you have a better use for time? But isn't it all religions? Go pray for hours, stand on your knees, bring all your money. It's to take your resources and your time. It's it. And can you separate shamanism from religion? If you look for definition, I think it's even in Wikipedia, it says shamanism is a religion, religious practice. No, you can separate it. I'm from a place where all religions were forbidden for 70 years. And even word shamanism was illegal. If someone would call themselves a shaman, they would go to jail. This is where I grew up. Few generations, somehow we preserved shamanism without even calling that, without costumes, without feathers. My grandmother didn't even own a drum, but she had a line of people waiting for her help outside of her house every day, for as long as I remember. I like to present shamanism as a just simply practical skill set. Then it doesn't meddle with your own traditions or belief system, believe whatever you want. Don't mix the two. And then when you understand the difference, you're not going to be scammed into schools where they don't teach anything.
This is a great conversation because I know in a lot of these shaman schools, the teachings are, there's kind of an elitist, an elitistness to it, like you're a part of the elite, you're special if you go through these intense rituals that may, that you have to sacrifice for and that test your stamina and abilities, and it's almost like you're more special and exclusive. So it's a healthy conversation when you say these are practical skills. This isn't an elitist profession.
So when you, even from what you described, what does it sound like?
A cult.
Exactly.
One other
No,
question. A lot of times when these classes on soul retrieval and that, they say you have to be very careful or you could damage the person that you're trying to help, or you could lose part of yourself and someone could spiritually attack you while you're doing a retrieval. I just would like some more information about that. Like they say to make sure to set up, again, these are all things I've heard in the past. So set up a very sacred space, protect your energy, but to be very aware that while you're in this process, somebody could steal a part of you or a parasite could come in. Can you talk more about that?
be sober and don't use drugs and our daily practices so you're unpenetratable. You're not vulnerable to whatever's outside. Be intentional in everything you do. I'll tell you, few soul retrieval ceremonies I went to locally, those shamans that call themselves real, they do a ritual and they drink beer at the same time. When we are under influence of anything like this, alcohol, ayahuasca, whatever it is, we become very vulnerable, yes, and then it's easy to get attachments. It's easy to get under attack. We're always surrounded by entities. Just because we don't see them doesn't mean that it's not there, just like viruses and bacteria. Your house is full of guests that don't pay rent and live there for a long time, probably longer than you did. We're always there, but if we take care of ourselves, always intentional, stand within our own line, we're gonna be fine. Remember, you're not alone. You've been watched over if you're doing the right thing. How valuable are you to the forces that are behind you? If you're doing the right things, if you're that clean channel, and channeling that energy to the good, you will always be protected. So yes, sober, no drugs, no ayahuasca retreats. Those are scary stories I'm listening. Schizophrenia, people cannot recover from it. Life is lost. We become like vegetables. Maybe not every case, but we don't hear about it. That's what's scary. We only hear those who try to sell it to us. Be smart. For the same reason, why our practices should be daily and diligent. So your body, not just physical, your energetic body is solid. So you're not penetratable. We can go through quickly. I like to do grinding before anything I do. Start my day, finish my day with this. Before my work with clients, I teach every client grinding. I should have a blister by now on my tongue. I don't. Cleansing regularly, whether you worked with somebody or not, especially if you went to crowded places. Came home, you're not just washing hands, 2 minutes. Mental work, cleaning your energy. And then if something happened, you devote more time to it. Then shielding in the context of what is going on right now. If you're at war with somebody, something going on between you and other people or organizations, and you feel under attack, yes, you need to shield yourself. You can invoke nature's elements, you can invite for help, you can simply visualize. For energy to be managed, you simply need to have that intention, idea, and visualize it. Simply imagining, like if you want to do 4 layers from natural elements shield, surrounded by water, body of water, river goes around me, or a ocean that nobody can cross. I'm surrounded by mountains, next layer. Then there is a wind blowing, air element. Nobody can cross through. And the fire, ring of fire. And then you speak out. What is this you building for? Nobody can come to my house. For this weekend, I'm working. I don't want distraction. Or nobody can gossip. And then you speak out. Any evil word will be burned or carried away by the strong storm or drowned and fall to the bottom of ocean or a crash against the big mountain. Any evil intent against me sent by thought, word, in the form of energy, again will burn in the fire, fall to the bottom of ocean, carried away by a storm or crushed against a big mountain. So that's how you do with element. Use your imagination. Can't really script for every situation. So use what seems sensible. Always invoke spirit, guardians, angel, who, whatever feels right to you, what you used to. You can create entity of your own. When you'll go through classes, you'll find those energetic practices, how to create things that will help you. Those are for one task only. They're not very intelligent when you're creating it through the thought form. One task. Watch over you, guard your door at the house, attract attention on social media, something. Watch over your kids, keep your ex away. You'll find it there. You don't want to do this big of a shielding on daily basis, and no opportunities, no people will get through. Always has to be fluid. What's going on? You invited people to visit you, or clients should come for appointment. If you'll shield yourself, they're not going to be able to find your house. GPS is not going to work. You'll run ads campaign. Nobody will see it because you're shielded. So everything in the context. What's happening right now? What's your intention? Always think, what for are you doing this thing? What is your goal? What you want to happen? The next one is when you go to healing. Warrior state. Shaman is a warrior. It's not a person that sits, meditates for hours and writes on social media how much they love everybody. That's all waste of time. It's useless. You're a warrior. If you understand that, you'll be very effective in everything you do. Everything that is happening in your life or your clients, whether it's disease, problems, poverty, absence of luck, I'm generalizing. All of those elements that we don't want are perceived as enemies. If you, this all loving, kind, harmless being, can you fight the enemies? You cannot. You have to be a warrior. And we'll do this practice today. I'll show you how to do it daily, especially in the healing. That's how you protect yourself. You step into that state. Journeys should be regular practice because that's how you strengthen the bond with the other realm. You build in that channel to the other realm. You're connecting with entities. You're getting known to them too. You're not just getting familiar with them, but you're also presenting yourself. If it's regular, you're taken seriously. And that is such a universal practice. You can solve lots of your own problems with that. You can help any client, at least to some degree. And even if your clients that are coming are not open to spiritual practices or shamanism, you can run it simply as hypnotherapy session. They're not going to know the difference. When you feeding a dog medicine, sometimes you have to hide it in the piece of ham or whatever. Sometimes we have to do that in our work. If you know the medicines that can help and your client just refuses to take it, you have to wrap it up pretty and feed it anyway for their benefit. Soul journeys, regular practice. Start with all the recordings. Track everything, your state, what's happening afterwards. We are tracking all the areas of life, your physical health, mental, emotional. Is your mind become more clear or the opposite? Now you're confused. What's happening with all your relationships when you're becoming stronger? When now you're bonding with the right forces. All the people that shouldn't be in your life will be swept away. And the opposite, who is coming into your life? Are those important relationships in your life, they become stronger or something hinders them now? So you're monitoring everything. Keep it in a journal because you're not going to remember everything. Keep it in a journal with dates so you can, few months later, go back and see how you progress. So you can track your journey. If you'll see what's happening to you, now you approximately know how it can happen for your clients too. How much time it may take or what steps are required to get them to certain destination. Well, generally, do you feel luckier or not? Generally in life. And the easiest area to monitor is your finances because it's black and white, it's numbers. You cannot just convince yourself you're making more money. If you see coming more, it means more. If you're doing the right thing, you're on the right path, more opportunities open, and that comes in money. If you are not very good with journaling, just get a calendar and mark. Started doing grinding daily. If you set specific intention for whatever practice you start implementing, put it there. I want to feel better, or I need to make more money. Just mark it when you started it. So a few months passed, you can go back. Oh, that sense of stability didn't just drop on my head. I worked on it diligently for 2 months. I did grinding every day. And then, that thing from the legal field. If you didn't write it down, it didn't happen. It's not real. Here, it's all recorded. You legalize it for yourself. Life didn't just happen to you. You have some control over it. You've made the choice, you made the decision, you took some steps to achieve that, and you made that happen. You repeat that few times, you're convincing your psyche, yes, I have a control. If I want something, I can get it. I am that powerful. All right, we're going to go quickly through all the practices. You can do them daily. For each, you'll find the audio recordings. I made them short purposely, so they're easy to be implemented into daily routine. Your goal is to make it so relatable to your lifestyle, so you'll want to do it every day, just like brushing teeth. All these practices, when you do it at first, might take 3-4 minutes. But then when you already conditioned yourself, how long will it take you to ground? 15 seconds. Shield, 20 seconds maybe. You can do it while driving, while standing at the grocery store to cash register.